President Trump has made the importance of protecting life a key issue.
We must build a culture that cherishes the dignity and sanctity of innocent human life. I am asking Congress to pass legislation to prohibit the late-term abortion of children who can feel pain in a mother's womb. Millions of innocent, beautiful babies are counting on us to protect them, and we will.
Our next guest says, from standing up for the unborn to his choices in judges, President Trump is the most pro-life president of his lifetime. The chairman of the Faith and Freedom Coalition, Ralph Reed, joins us now. Hey, Ralph, thank you so much for being with us.
Hey, Ainsley. Good to be with you. Good morning.
Good morning. So why do you think that? Why do you say that?
Well, you know, I think if you look at what President Trump has said and done, both as a candidate and as president, he walked into the Oval Office shortly after taking the oath of office, and he restored the Mexico City policy that was begun by Ronald Reagan that prohibits the use of tax dollars to take innocent human life overseas through family planning programs, UN programs. He has restored conscience rights for Christians and others of faith who under Obamacare were forced to violate their conscience and their faith by providing medical services like abortion that they objected to. He has appointed pro-life and strict constructionist judges, including Neil Gorsuch and Brett Kavanaugh to the Supreme Court. And the other thing is, Ainsley, and this is the thing that I really appreciate, is how the president is beginning to use what Teddy Roosevelt called the bully pulpit of his office. This is the most consequential office in human history, and through the words that he speaks and through the power of what he says in determining right and wrong as a matter of moral clarity, he can move the needle in the culture and he can affect what legislatures and Congress do, and I appreciate that.
Ralph, there are a lot of people that voted for him because of the wall. There are a lot of evangelicals that voted for him because of his pro-life stance and because of his ability to appoint conservative judges. You say that the right to life is just equally as important as the wall. Why do you say that?
Well, because I think if you look at the evangelical constituency, it was 27% of the electorate in 2016 and 2018. If you add in pro-life Catholics, it gets up to 35% of the electorate. Donald Trump won 81% of their votes. They were half of all the votes he received. Donald Trump isn't in the White House today without the strength of that vote. And if that vote had not turned out the way it did in 2018, not only would the Republicans have lost the House, they would have lost the Senate, and it wouldn't have even been close. So these are voters that, to be clear, are not ultimately partisan in their affiliation. They're driven by a set of issues. They're driven by a set of moral concerns. And at the top of that list is creating a culture of life that protects the dignity and the sanctity of every human life from conception to natural death, including the unborn. And by the Democrats pursuing this extremist late-term abortion and even infanticide agenda, which Gallup, Ainsley, found last year only 13% of the American people favor abortions in the third trimester, I think is helping President Trump.
Even pro-choicers don't agree with that. Most pro-choicers.
They don't.
All right, Ralph, thank you so much for being with us. Have a great weekend.